Hey everyone, this is the first video of a short video series where I'm going to be documenting my journey and my experiences doing laser eye surgery in the UK. So I've been wearing glasses since I was around 11 or 12 years old, so well over like sort of 14 years now. And I probably started wearing contacts about 4 years after that, so basically been wearing contacts for a decade. And the reason why I want to do this is basically I just want to be free from these glasses, free from having to put those contacts in every time. Like every 2 years I've got to get a new pair of glasses, and you of course got to pay for contact lenses as well. Annoying having to put them in, and I can just imagine life where I don't have to worry about any of that. You can just wake up and you can just see everything straight away. And simple things like when you want to go swimming, or like when I'm having a little shave, or like in the shower and stuff. You can't be wearing glasses or contacts, so I want to be able to see clearly in these sort of settings, especially like let's say when I'm playing sports as well. I play a lot of football, so of course I usually wear contacts for that as well. So it's just going to be an amazing benefit basically. My prescription has steadily been increasing throughout the years since I started wearing glasses, and finally it's sort of settled now. So I'm minus 3.5 on the left and minus 3.25 on the right. And what that means is that I can walk around the house no problem, but when it comes to making out faces from a distance, it's quite difficult. Certainly can't drive without having to wear contacts or glasses. What does laser eye surgery involve? Once you've decided that you do want to do laser eye surgery, then it's all about researching which clinic that you want to do your surgery with. So I'm based in London, so I had a look at clinics in my area. I did look a little outside of London as well, but I was talking to sort of friends and family, and then I sort of focused. So then I settled on Focus Clinic. They're based on Wimpole Street in central London, in that sort of Harley Street enclave. So they gave me a nice little pack, as I've come to see them now, where they explain a bunch of stuff, just telling you what laser vision correction is, what are the benefits of it, as I've sort of been explaining, talking about the alternatives as well and who is suitable for laser vision. Then we got the risks as well, as any surgery does of course pose its risks, and then about how to reduce the risk of the problems, and what are the side effects. And this is just a bit of a glossary of all the terms that they were given as well, which is quite useful. And then they're just explaining why we should go for a Focus Clinic. And I've already had 2 friends that have used these guys. And what was nice about Focus Clinic, once you've done the surgery and then your eyesight does actually go up again within 10 years, they'll actually correct it for free. And here they're just explaining what to do on the day of the surgery and after the surgery. Here's the actual procedure. Now, there are actually a few types of procedures. So this is the LASIK procedure, where they use a laser to cut a small flap on your cornea and open it up, and then use another laser to then apply the vision correction, and then they just put the flap back down basically, and that's the whole procedure. Apparently only takes about 20 minutes in total, for both eyes. If you're not able to go for a LASIK, because let's say your cornea is too thin, and they do their tests to work this out, then you can also go for another procedure where they use a low alcohol solution to sort of burn off the top layer of that cornea, so then they can do that laser correction on the actual correction actually happens on the cornea, not on the lens itself inside the eye. With both procedures, then once the surgery is done, the eye is just left to repair itself basically. And then what these guys do is they provide eye drops to just sort of help with the pain, but it's actually the body that repairs itself. And then in my case, they gave an option of 3 different surgeons. We got Mr. Samar Hamada here, and then we got the guy who actually started Focus Clinic, so Mr. David Allenby. And finally, we have Mr. Sumit Pereira here as well. And so I've decided to go with this guy, mainly because actually my friend who's recently done laser eye surgery, he also went with this guy as well. So I feel like I can trust him. Then they also provide eye lubrication pack, and I'll go through this. And then there's a consent form which I need to sign. So I've had my first appointment with Focus Clinic, and it was a great experience. They welcomed me. The first part was a standard eye test, as I typically do in Specsavers, where like I'm looking at the sort of hot air balloon, and they can see what my prescription is. I also sent what my last year's prescription is, and it was exactly the same, which is the reason why I can do laser eye surgery, because you need to make sure that your prescription has stabilized, as they don't want to be correcting your vision if if it's still potentially going to go up. So I'm 26 now, and they said, yeah, you're sort of at the right age, probably, you know, like on the young end of the spectrum. So the chances of my prescription going up in the future is very low, basically. But as I mentioned before, if it does, then Focus will actually correct it again. And then, you know, it's when you start getting older, like into your sort of 40s, that's when you start losing your short vision as well. You know, so I'm going to be making the most out of this procedure, out of this correction for like at least over a decade, basically, which would be great. So after the standard eye test, then they took me to another room where they had to measure the size of the cornea, and I guess the thickness of it as well. So that was a quite unique machine, and I had to sort of keep my eyes open as long as possible, I think for about 10 seconds. And I must admit, I was sort of struggling. And I think the reason why is because I do have sort of dry eyes, and I was told that before, you know, a year ago. So I have been sort of taking eye drops here and then. What they recommended is I should be taking eye drops now up until my surgery date. So after the first test, then I was put back into the waiting room, and then another optometrist called me out, and then we did that, you know, the standard eye test where you have to read the letters with the mirror, and then they also looked into the eye as well. And then at the end, she had to put some more eye drops in to dilate my eyes in order to look right inside as well. And yeah, so what I would recommend if you are going to go, when you go to your first appointment, definitely take some sunglasses, because those eyes stay dilated for at least like, you know, for a couple of hours. So you don't want like the bright light coming in into your eyes. So in terms of what else to prepare if you are going to do laser eye surgery, as I mentioned before, make sure you're taking your lubricating eye drops. Now, one thing I've never taken is flaxseed oil capsules as well. So I've been taking these since my first appointment, but this is a good idea to be taking anyway. Or make sure just you're having lots of omega-3. So, you know, those sort of oily fish like salmon would be very good for your eyes. And then what they also recommended was doing like an eyelid massage. So what that involves is making your eyes nice and hot. So it was recommended put like a warm bag, but you know, even if you're having a hot shower, then after the shower, then what you have to do is just you have to look up and then push your sort of cuticles up like this. And the idea is you're trying to, you know, you've got some glands there, which the glands that lubricate your eyes, and you're just trying to get the lubrication coming out, basically. And then also for the top eyes as well, you just close your eye and then you just push down like this. Is the idea. So I've been doing this every day when I'm having a shower. So I hope you enjoyed that video and you learned something today. I'll be sure to keep you updated with the future appointments and of course post-surgery as well. Looking forward to it. Cheers.